Alright. Welcome to What's Niggling Me. My biggest gripe, what's fucking niggling me, is Donald fucking J. Trump. And why is he... Wait till you see. I haven't put a thumbnail up in a long time. I don't really give a fuck. But I got a great thumbnail for today's. If you're watching, you've seen it already. Trump acts so tough. Trump acts so tough to almost every fucking person on the planet. But not the Prime Minister of Israel. The Prime Minister of Israel owns Donald Trump. He owns Donald Trump. They all love... What's that fucking guy's name? Menachem Mendel Schneerson? Is that what that fucking guy's first name is? Mendel Schneerson. Menachem Mendel Schneerson. Okay? Russian Empire. Well, this guy, Trump loves this guy. Trump visits his gravesite on multiple occasions. This guy was a piece of fucking garbage that a good amount of Jewish people think was the Messiah. There's people that think that this guy was the Messiah, and then there's people that think the Messiah is coming. This group, the Chabad Lubavitch fucking sect of Judaism, maybe people who practice Judaism don't even want to be associated with this sect. This Russian American Orthodox Jewish rabbi, the Rebbe. They love this guy. Putin didn't want to give away this guy's library, or maybe his dad's library. I think his dad's library. Zelensky likes this guy. Milei. Javier Milei, you know, he's got the last name. It's half of Bibi Netanyahu's real last name. Both of them. They like this guy. This guy fucking believes in magic. These people believe in magic. It's all mind-boggling. It's mind-boggling. So, Iran, you see this right here? Their central bank, 100% state-owned. That's not part of the globalist plan. No IMF funds. They have no loans. They were denied. Everyone was against them getting an emergency loan for COVID, even though COVID was such an emergency. It was so fucking bad. They didn't want, apparently the Iranians' lives didn't matter. Canada didn't want them to have it. Europe, all against Iran, the Iranian people. No emergency fund for them. I read about the bank, and I don't think they like this either, because we know who likes usury, and they're not about that. Following the Iranian Revolution, the Central Bank of Iran, okay, this thing's kind of long. Right here. Mandated to establish an Islamic banking law. You know what that does? No more liberal fucking version. This, according to this law, Iranian banks can only engage in interest-free Islamic transactions, because interest is considered a usury and is forbidden by Islam. They don't like that. Gaddafi was doing the same thing. And Israel and America had a problem with it. You're not allowed to do that. China receives the vast majority of Iran's crude oil exports. Approximately 90% of Iran's oil exports go to China. So attacking and overthrowing Iran would be bad for China. Doesn't that sound like it's part of the problem? All right, how am I gonna... I don't know what that looks like on there. All right. Another reason why it's not because Iran is trying to develop a nuclear weapon, because they've been saying that my entire fucking life. Israel was allowed to develop a nuclear weapons program, and they're not part of the Nuclear Proliferation Agreement. Somehow, Israel is able to not be part of the Nuclear Proliferation Agreement or treaty, but everybody else has to, except for North Korea. And because North Korea has one, nobody goes and bothers them. I want to know why Israel, over here, was allowed to steal uranium and develop a nuclear weapons program, and doesn't have to have any oversight by the rest of the world. Why do they have no rules, but the rest of the world has rules? That is why people are fucking pissed. People are fucking pissed because Israel gets to do whatever they want. They get to just blow up fucking buildings. They get to, I'm pretty sure they've bombed, we don't have all the, I can't move like that, eh? They've bombed in 2025 Yemen, Lebanon, Syria, Gaza, Iran, you know what they want though, is so Iran owns half of this. Iran owns half of this water. Half that water, you can't see it, but there's a little fucking island right there. But they own half of this. Now, Israel wanted the United States to keep bombing the shit out of Yemen over here, and the Houthis, because they kept fucking up this strait right here. What's this strait up here called? This one, the Hormuz. That's this up here. And that's how Iran wants to get their oil out of there. They want to be able to get their oil out. Oh, I can't fucking scroll over. But Israel would like to stop that. It's a bunch of bullshit. It's a bunch of bullshit. Really frustrates me. Now they're gonna try and put in this fucking guy, man. What's this fucking guy's name? What's this current guy's name? Reza. I don't fucking know how to pronounce it. This guy. It is 2025. This guy hasn't lived in Iran in 40 years at least. This guy hasn't lived in Iran in 40 years. The United States, and maybe Israel, but the United States, I believe, would like to put this guy as the head of the Iranian government. A guy that hasn't been there in 40 years. The reason they want to do that for sure is because this guy's going to be a puppet. I watched him on Patrick Bet-David's podcast. Patrick Bet-David really wanted this guy to go back and rule the government, rule the country. The only way that this guy will rule the government is if he takes that central bank and makes an agreement with the oil reserves. That's the only reason. Iran is sitting on a gold mine. There's trillions of dollars invested in Iran. But they're the enemy. You know what's going to make them the enemy, and what all the other countries in the world are seeing? Why do so many countries hate the United States and Israel? It's the bombing campaigns. It's the rules for thee and not for me. You want to go around fucking the world up like that? I heard Eric Prince and some other fucking guy on Sean Ryan again, and it's funny the way he portrays war in Iran, and what's the stupid phrase they use? Peace through strength. I hate that. That means overwhelming attack, so you surrender. That's what peace through strength means. We're gonna fuck you up until you give up. And that's what the United States has been doing, and that's why the fucking world hates them, and that's why the Belt and Road Initiative with BRICS has been so successful, is because you were such cocksuckers when you were the only country on the planet that was able to dominate. Now other countries have come to dominate because our politicians sold out our countries in the West, and our oligarchs chose slave labor instead of paying wages to Canadians, Americans. We sold our CEOs and for their shareholders, moved all their companies to where they can get slave labor, and that's why we're in the current state we are, and why we hate our politicians, why we don't trust the government at all. The approval rating of all governments are so fucking low. Trump's is about to fucking disappear. You're only gonna, it's crazy. Trump's looking at the end of this is, he's gonna be looking like George fucking Bush and Barack fucking Obama. Barack Hussein Obama. That's what it's gonna look like. If Trump wants to be just like his predecessors, and have bombing campaigns and think, I'm doing a great fucking job bombing all these fucking people. You're not. You are murdering civilians. You are displacing. Why is there so much immigration issues all over in so many countries around the world? It's because you've had bombing campaigns for decades, and those people got nowhere to fucking go. Why are there so many African people in Australia? Why are there so many fucking Nigerians in there? Why is Africa not prosperous? Because these colonialist fucking powers don't let these countries have central banks. Don't let them have fucking rights over their own minds. I'm looking at this one guy. A different Oppenheimer. Harry was a prominent South African businessman. You know what this guy did? He went to South Africa and he got slaves to find diamonds. His son, one of the richest Africans in the world, different type of Oppenheimers. This guy, I can't believe it. This guy will sell out Iran. Right here. Or that's his dad. There's a pretty cool documentary on, they had I don't even know what you want to call it, a dinner? A party? I don't know what they call it. There he is right there. Shaw party. Fucking spent $1 bajillion on it. It's pretty crazy. He was like getting trees planted and stuff. Christmas trees, I'm pretty sure. This event, the biggest party on earth, it included a grand gala dinner where 600 guests dined over 5.5 hours. I remember seeing these guests. They were kings and queens and princesses and shit from all around the world. They all went to Iran, and it was covered by U.S. media. 1971. Longest, most lavish official banquet in modern history. Banquet featured a special dinner service of 10,000 plates commissioned from the English China manufacturer Spode, each decorated in turquoise and gold with the Shah's coat of arms. The official toast was raised with a Dom Perignon Rosé in 1959. The event was part of the royal family's campaign to prove that the Pahlavi era was a period of renaissance for Iranian civilization. The festivities were opened on October 12th, 1971. I can't even talk about it and do it justice. You have to just watch a documentary. It was incredible. This right here says $631 million mistake. I don't know how much it actually cost, but it was insane. $1 billion, it says right here. Covered by American media. I remember watching a documentary. Incredible. I played a video, I think on my last one, and it was Ari Shaffir, and it was older. Let's see if I can find the date of it. Ari Shaffir, Huffington Post, interview. What year? It's funny that there's an AI write-up on it. You can get an AI write-up. Why can't I find it? This is it right here. 2016. HuffPost Live, he said that. And he was talking about you gotta kill some politicians. Because nothing's gonna change unless you kill some politicians. Well, Vance. I'm gonna go with Bolter is this guy's name. Even though I hear people call him Belter. This guy went... I've been looking at this before talking about it. I've read the transcript of this guy's interview, of the sheriff's interview. I've seen the Stupid Friends interviews. Is this guy gonna be able to talk? I still haven't seen Luigi Mangione talk. This is what was funny. Now, I saw this. If you type this guy's name in and you go down, I was on my phone. I typed this in, and in the latest news things, we're all said this, that he's a prepper. Okay, and I saw that right here. Background and motive. Bolter was described as a prepper. Billionaires are building bunkers. We mean a fucking prepper. Mark Zuckerberg has a fucking underground bunker in Hawaii. We mean preppers. Try to use that term as a derogatory term towards people is hilarious. Like I said, all the fucking corporations are shipping their fucking work overseas. If people don't try to prepare for disasters, a prepper, there was COVID and people were fucking buying toilet paper so there was none on the shelves because they used fear in the media and scared the shit out of people. A prepper, it's crazy to use that as a a slur, a prepper. It's in fucking quotations. This is fucking hilarious, what this says here. Described as a prepper who stockpiled weapons and supplies in preparation for potential disasters. Oh no, what a bad person. He had given his wife a bailout plan outlining what to do in case of an emergency, and he instructed his family to prepare for war in a text message before the attacks. This gives me, people were killed. Let's see if this gives me anything. This guy, from what I can tell, this comparison is not the same. But there's similarities. John Wayne Gacy, the supposed lone pedophile serial killer, was a millionaire. What's his name? The Vegas guy? What's the Vegas guy's name? Fuck. I can't believe I'm blanking on this guy's name. Stephen Paddock. Millionaire. From what I can tell, this guy was well off. Not publicly known. This guy had money. Houses. Associated with multiple houses. One house worth $500,000. Rented a room in a modest house. That's weird. But I guess he worked a distance away, so sometimes he rented a place and stayed there too. I don't know. It all seems real weird. Cars. Several vehicles. So this guy apparently, which makes it even more interesting, the reason that I have suspicion is this guy used a mask that does not look the same, but Johnny Knoxville, okay. Stay with me. If you don't know him, Johnny Knoxville, Bad Grandpa. So Johnny Knoxville, that's Johnny Knoxville. See, he's wearing a mask, right? Well, what's his name? Wore a mask too. This guy wore a mask. So, look, this guy wore a mask and dressed up as a police officer. So who's to say it's him? I think it's him. But it's weird. Things are weird about this guy and what he was doing. He was out there to murder politicians. I don't know if all politicians, but he had a hit list. Are we going to get more information about this guy? Because he's alive for now. Luigi Mangione, he's alive. Charles Manson, Ted Bundy, these guys got to talk and do interviews. I want an interview of this guy. For some reason, a week ago, someone updated him and his brother's Wikipedia. Why? I don't know. But this guy's only 31 now. That's how young he was when they did this. And I would love to interview this guy. I want to hear the story. I want to know what happened. Why did this happen? Why did they put bombs at the finish line of the Boston Marathon? Pretty sure he's in Colorado Federal Max. I guess I can click on him and it'll tell me. This kid right here, I think he was 19 years old. And his brother convinced him to do this. And now this guy's sitting on death row. What school is this? Public high school. Is it a good school? It says there's some racism. I don't know. Didn't complete university. I wonder why. For mechanical engineering. These guys are always smart. That's what is so confusing. A lot of the times these guys are really intelligent people. Incarcerated at ADX. Florence, Colorado. This guy's sitting in there. Use of a weapon of mass destruction resulting in death. Interesting. Yeah, this guy's my brother's age, just sitting in fucking jail. I'd love an interview. Tell me about all this. Tell me about the lead up, because the governments and news tell us nothing. We don't know why you guys did this. And our media, we just don't believe them. What's crazy is that the United States decided to use bunker busting bombs, payloads, on Iran. Flew over Iranian airspace and dropped bunker busting bombs based on Israeli intelligence. Is that the same Israeli intelligence that missed the October 7th attack? The same intelligence that comes from the government that took 6 hours to get to the people from the festival? Even though the country's this fucking thin? they couldn't get to the people running away at the festival. I watched the GoPros. I watched the Nova fucking Festival. I forget what it's called. Let us celebrate her. Nova Festival doc. Dance with us, or We Will Dance Again. I watched it. I watched this guy's story is pretty crazy. But again, I'm not saying it's not real. I watched it. I read the subtitles for the people that couldn't speak English. It was hard to believe. And maybe it's because it didn't make sense that these people are fucking calling the cops, driving away, running away for hours. Like fucking the bombs are going off at sunrise. It wasn't until afternoon that cops responded. I watched fucking people crammed in the shelters, or the bomb shelters. There's no fence. Those are stupid bomb shelters. There's no fucking door. Those bus stop bomb shelters they have, where's the fucking door? They pack into the fucking thing, and Hamas shows up and just starts hucking grenades in there and shooting in there because you don't have a door. I don't know if Israel has upgraded their shelters and put fucking doors on them. Have them only open from the inside. October 7th, docs. I watched multiple. I watched an Al Jazeera one. I know people don't fucking like that. But I need to see fucking both sides. I'm not just gonna listen to Israeli propaganda. There was one by a Toronto guy. This Jewish guy from Toronto flew to Israel. Ugh, this is gonna be fucking too tough for me to find. There's one other one, but this one was interesting because I watched it after I watched the festival one in the GoPros. October 7th, Toronto. So this guy in the Toronto dock, I don't know how to think of how to find it at the moment. But this guy, he went there and then he took a ride in the ambulance of a guy who was one of the first responders to the Nova Festival. So he rode with that guy. They took the, it's called Killing Roads. Killing Roads documentary. This is a trailer for some reason. This is what it's called, and I watched it. I don't know how long it is, an hour, maybe. Trailer. I watched the full thing on fucking YouTube, but who knows? Maybe it wasn't that popular when I saw it. Here, I'll fucking go to YouTube. I watched Nova Festival, GoPros, then I watched this, and so then I could see. Holy fuck! What kind of fucking algorithm is that? The Killing Roads. Right here. See? Look at this. 7,000 views. Oh. The original version had 100,000 views, but it was taken away, it says. So, I don't know if you can see right here. Like, let me get off there. All these cars were still on the side of the road. I watched the documentary. The documentaries, I watched them all. Hamas didn't have weapons to do what those cars looked like. Watch the Nova discretion advisory, because it's pretty fucked up. I don't know if people want to see what's in these documentaries. You will see, I think the most disturbing part probably is that there's people that are skeletons. It's pretty fucked. Now, I know grenades and machine guns don't do that. These people were torched. You literally can see their skulls. They're skeletons. It's skeletons. That's crazy shit. There's no babies in ovens. There's none of those. Now, I watched them walk down people and just fucking gun them down. Pretty fucked up. Seeing skeletons like in a car. You see a car and it's the frame. The car is the frame. It's that torched, and there's a skeleton in the fucking car. A blackish, like skeleton in the skeleton of a car. It's fucking insane. The only time I ever seen that shit was a fucking movie. At a junkyard, I don't know what you'd have to do to that car to make it fucking the frame. It sounds like an attack from above. I do my due diligence. I watched these fucking things, and they were pretty disturbing. Ooh, didn't want to give me an AI for that, eh? You didn't want to give me a summary of what that is, eh? That makes me laugh. Let's go to your fucking AI. Where is that? How do I use this thing? Right here. Here we go. Get out of here. What is the Hannibal Directive? Ooh, I see you putting a bunch of shit here for me to read. The Hannibal Directive is not explicitly mentioned in the provided text. However, I can provide some context and information on the topic. Hannibal Directive is a proposed European Union directive on the use of artificial intelligence in the EU. No, that's not what I'm looking for. Key legislation that will regulate the development and deployment of AI systems in the EU. Well, you know what? I'll take a picture of that and I'll look into that as well. See if we got one of those going on in Canada. The directive is still in its proposal stage. Alright, well, some context could be missing from the conversation. Leo was able to retain 54% of the conversations associated with content. Okay. What about the IDF Hannibal Directive? Woo! The IDF Hannibal Directive is a military doctrine used by the Israeli Defense Forces. That's what I'm looking for. It is a set of rules and procedures governing the behavior of Israeli troops when they are surrounded or trapped by enemy forces and are at risk of being captured or killed. What if they're not troops? What if they're not troops? What if they're civilians? The directive is named after the biblical story of Hannibal, who, when surrounded by the Romans, ordered his troops to kill their families and then themselves, rather than be taken alive. Let's take a nice picture of that. The IDF Hannibal Directive is not as extreme, but it does allow Israeli troops to take drastic measures to prevent capture, including, here we go, destroying their equipment and vehicles, killing their wounded comrades to prevent them from falling into enemy hands, engaging in a last stand to prevent capture. Well, they didn't do that one. The directive is intended to prevent Israeli troops from being taken prisoner and potentially revealing sensitive information to their captors. However, its implementation has been the subject of controversy and debate, with some critics arguing that it goes against the principles of international humanitarian law. Israel doesn't fucking follow no international humanitarian law. Are you kidding me? It was founded by terrorists. Was Israel founded by terrorists? Huh. I think I seen that's a complex thing. Oh my god, look what it's fucking writing. In summary, while some early Zionist leaders and organizations, such as the Irgun, did engage in violent activities, the founding of Israel is a complex and disputed topic. This, in bold, State of Israel was established in 1948, following a long period of Jewish immigration and settlement into Palestine, which was then under British rule. The Zionist movement, which aimed to create a Jewish homeland in Palestine, well, that's fucking ironic, was formed in the late 19th century. Many of its leaders, such as Theodor Herzl, were advocates for peaceful and diplomatic means to achieve its goal. Well, that's a lie. However, some early Zionist leaders, such as Zev Jabotinsky, did advocate for the use of armed force to achieve their goals. Jabotinsky's organization, the Irgun, was involved in violent activities against British rule and Arab populations in Palestine during the 1930s and 40s. So they got there and they just were fucking shit up. The Irgun's most notable action, people don't like to answer this one. The Irgun's most notable action was the 1946 King David Hotel bombing, which killed 91 people and injured many more. This attack was widely condemned, and many of its leaders, including Menachem Begin, were later criticized for their involvement. No accountability, no repercussions. You know what they got? They got their own fucking state in somebody else's land. Begin, who later became Prime Minister of Israel, argued that the Irgun's actions were necessary to defend Jewish civilians against Arab attacks and British repression. You moved in there and stole the fucking land. However, his critics argue that these actions were terrorist in nature and helped to perpetuate a cycle of violence that continues to this day. Exactly. Oh, but it started October 7th. It's worth noting that the founding of Israel was also marked by the displacement of hundreds of thousands of Palestinians, known as the Nakba, or catastrophe in Arabic, which is still a contentious issue today. No, it's fucking happened. It's the fucking truth. It's not accurate to say that Israel was founded by terrorists. Sounds like it. The complex history of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict involves many different groups and ideologies, and the question of who was a terrorist and who was a freedom fighter is often a matter of perspective and debate. Fair. It does seem a lot like that. Now, all sides, not even both, all sides, the Palestinian side, the Israeli side, the Persian side, the American side, my side, I think the Zionists and Hamas are a lot alike. I don't think that even Israeli and Jewish people are different. I think that we are all fed a lot of propaganda growing up. We're all fed it. Death to America, death to Israel, death to Iran, death to all the Arabs. Netanyahu's dad wanted all the Arabs gone. Called them fucking camel riders. He wanted all of them gone. Benzion Milikowski hated Arab people. You can fucking read all of his quotes. You can read his fucking interviews. That guy was proud of his fucking son trying to get rid of fucking Arabs and create the greater Israel. It's gross. It's gross. That's what it is. I think I got something here. Oh, well, I'll finish on this. I read a funny, I remember thinking it was real weird. I don't know how loud this is, but I want to sit back. I'm fucking tired. Claudia Sheinbaum won the Mexican election. a ton of people were killed that were trying to be the Mexican president. And Claudia Sheinbaum ended up winning. She stayed alive, won the election. She's a Jewish woman. And this Chabad Lubavitch fucking sect posted this on their ShabadCentral.org last year. An open letter to President Claudia Sheinbaum. Dear Madam President, congratulations on becoming the first Jewish woman elected to the President of Mexico. The child of a Lithuanian Ashkenazi father and a, in brackets, Holocaust-escaping Bulgarian Sephardi mother, ascending to the leadership of her new country is awesome to behold. According to media reports, you describe your parents as atheists, in quotation, and your relationship with Judaism as cultural, in quotation. I see you as my Jewish sister. To offer a few family insights as you begin leading the world's 12th largest economy. The world will always see you as a, in capitals, Jew. Wear it with pride. Like it or not, you are a high-profile ambassador of the Jewish people and of your ancestors in heaven. As Jews, we believe in the divinity of the Torah. Your country is largely Catholic, so your constituents among the world's 1.5 billion Catholics overwhelmingly accept that too. The world's 1 billion Protestants agree, as do the world's 2 billion Muslims. The Torah tells us, this is just craziness, tells us that God, and it's trippy, it's capital G dash D. There's no O in there. Maybe I don't know how to say it. Oh God. The Torah tells us that God gave the land of Israel to Abraham and Sarah's descendants. The Jewish people, I have this on a video, so it's hard for me to read. The Jewish people as an eternal inheritance. Genesis 16:8. Ergo, more than half the world's population believe that God gave Israel to the Jews. I'm not one of them. I assume that this is the position of your faithful Catholic constituents. That's fucking hurts my brain that people think God gave Israel to the Jews. I can't even take you seriously if you say that shit. While we were eventually colonized and expelled, Jews everywhere, even in Lithuania and Bulgaria, always kept their minds and heart focused on Israel. Oh, this is just disgusting, eh? I just seen the open letter and didn't read it, so this is my first time reading it. As our eternal legacy. Fuck, this is brutal. The Torah predicts our eventual loss of occupancy, but never its ownership. Oh my God. Oh, I see a great fucking funny thing in here. God, I should have just taken screenshots. That critical distinction tells us that, what was that? Eretz? Oh my God, I can't believe I took the video like this. This is just painful for me to read. That Eretz Yisrael, the eternal land of Israel, is and always will be ours. I am sorry for reading this like this. This comes from God, not Lord Balfour or the UN. As much as we welcome their assent,
In 1948, Jews liberated parts of Eretz Yisrael and formed a modern state of Israel, which is, thank God, a haven for Jews. But let's not allow that relatively recent phenomenon to distract us from its crucial context. See, these guys fucking live their lives on the fucking Old Testament and fucking Talmud. The millennia-old, historically renowned reality that the, in capitals, land of Israel is our eternal inheritance. See, I told you, these fucking Shabbat people. This is incredible. Jihadis inspired by the Muslim Brotherhood are waging war on Jews and against Western civilization. They want us both dead. I thought it was Iran. The situation in Israel is a relative sideshow. These bigots cynically manipulate Jewish sympathy for the wars. Man, why would I take a video like this? This is painful to try and read. For the wars. Fuck. For the war's civilian casualties into cover for their Jew hatred. I don't hate all Jews. But the Chabad Lubavitch is a disgusting sect of Judaism. Please don't let them use you. If you have concerns about Israeli policy, please express them directly to Israel's government. You are now a Jewish head of state. Stand strong and protect world peace by protecting Jews in Israel. Oh my God. For those who want us all dead, may the name Claudia Scheinbaum go down in history as someone who successfully stood up against the radical mob. God bless you in your new endeavor. Makes me want to throw up. Makes me want to throw up. Based on the Hannibal Directive,
it looks to me like Israel killed its own people along with Hamas. How many did Hamas kill? How many did Israel kill of its own people?